Hello folks and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and Let's Play Stasis. It's by the Brotherhood. It is a 2D isometric sci-fi horror adventure game that's going to be focusing on mature themes. They do have a Kickstarter running with a $100,000 goal which ends on December 7th, 2013. And I think they're actually about 80% to their goal, which is great. At $19 or more to their goal will get you a full digital game on day one, I believe. Also on Steam Greenlight. It's going to be available on PC and Mac. There's also a alpha available, which is what I'm playing. I will have links to all of this below in the site description. Now, this is kind of the creepy atmosphere, point and click adventure type game. I'm going to start a new game, and I'm going to let the intro run without commentary to kind of get you into it so you can get into the feel of the feel that they're trying to push with this game. It is kind of long before I can start playing though, so what I'm going to do is I'll put an annotation within the next few seconds which will allow you to skip straight to the gameplay if you want to skip this introductory video. So without further ado, let's get started with Stasis.
Due to the threat of external contamination, a security lockdown is in progress. Please meet at your closest administration office for further instructions.
Stasis.
Okay. Now, as you can see, this is well, as I mentioned, 2D isometric. The bottom left is basically your inventory, and I actually like the way, if you watch the model, when I hover over it, he actually pulls out a device and looks at it. I like that nice touch. So, with standard point and click, when you hover over things, it will tell you what they are. You actually don't need to click on that. A lot of point and click, you have to click on it, and then it will tell you, or it'll give you the option to look at or interact with. So it actually simplifies a lot of that, which I like. A lot less clicking and right click and look at. Now right click and interact with. So a lot less of that, which I like. As you can hear, our guy is not doing too well. In fact, the automated voice told us as much. Again, we can look around here. We see this, and this is the pod we were in. It says J Maracheck, which is apparently us. And we can see there's another guy here. Oop.
Can anyone hear me? Is anyone there?
So the doors open automatically. Now that actually brings me to my first complaint. I will actually leave this room for right now. My first complaint, and you can't really...
Attention. Due to the threat of external contamination, a security lockdown is in progress. Please meet at your closest administration office for further instructions.
So again, you can look at the fans, and what's interesting is, for the most part, even items which are pretty much identical like these fans, you can see the text is actually different for each one. A lot of detail obviously has been given to small details like that. So we're gonna walk out of here. Well, slowly meander. Now, again, with the doors, what I was saying was that one very annoying thing is that, like, if I say to click to go somewhere, like here, notice my cursor goes away and he stops. So if I run by a door, if I'm running to a door, which sometimes you'll be doing later when you're trying to solve puzzles, you have to click like you want to leave. He'll run over. You have to wait for the animation to open the door, and then you have to click again to close exit. And that might seem like a non-issue, but again, when you're running between rooms trying to figure out how to solve puzzles, it can be pretty annoying to do. So it would be nice if the doors opening and closing didn't cause you to stop moving. I can kind of see why they didn't want you to be moving, because that might cause some issues with you clipping through doors and things like that. But it's still very annoying, so I would like if they came up with some kind of a better solution. Let's just check this terminal. And I'm not going to read all the different text. Maracheck, I will read that because that is me. John Maracheck, blood type O, sex male, age 38. Stasis pod acquired. Transport ship intercepted en route to Titan Station Espenza. One of 3 stasis pods. So they got 3 pods from my transport ship. I wonder who else could have been on there. So we have our general notifications. This one's important. Notification lockdown. Just a note to remind everyone that the lockdown system is still connected to the storage tanks. If the system locks down, you can falsify a leak and it will reset. So that might be useful later on. So again, as we hover over things, it will give us a description at the bottom. This chair sits vacant, the leather split with age along the seams and rounded edges. In places, these splits have allowed the padding underneath to protrude. We're not going to spend a lot of time looking at every single object, but I do want you guys to understand how this is working, how this is set up, how much detail that they have given to this game so far. And keep in mind, this is an alpha build, as I mentioned earlier. So any bugginess, any weirdness that I mention may not go into the final product, and in some cases probably won't. So let's go in here because I want to get moving. I'm kind of sick of hearing myself cough. Oh, there's some infant cribs. Anything baby related in any kind of horror, game, atmosphere, movie. Of course, always creepy, though I'm not quite sure why that always is. So you have different cribs, and again, each crib actually has a different flavor text added to it, which I like. And if you click on it, you just left click to try to interact, but I can't interact with those. Some kind of message saying you're not able to do anything with that might be okay, but honestly, I don't think it's necessary. Because sometimes I'm not sure if I clicked it, though honestly part of that is sometimes due to the pathing that's currently in the game. Sometimes if I click on something, he'll run the opposite direction. But again, this is alpha, so I expect for them to have all that stuff figured out. So we're in the medical bay, or infirmary rather. Medical bay, same thing, right? So we got to get ourselves fixed up. First thing I want to mention is, unless I missed it somehow, there's no way to see all of the interactable or important objects, if you want. And I call important objects anything that you can hover over that has a name and a description. Normally that's not a problem. Most of the time, things that I need to interact with has been pretty obvious. There has been once or twice though, one time in particular, where I got stuck for about 10 to 15 minutes because there was a small power panel next to a train control I completely did not see. And funny enough, after I found that train control, I kind of got stuck again, not as long, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And it was actually a different control panel on the other side of the train control that I wasn't able to see. So it kind of runs into that old adventure game problem where you end up like, well, I'm running out of ideas, so I'm just kind of hovering my mouse over everything to see if there's some kind of interactable that I've missed. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. The breaker box broke, so it doesn't look like anything's powered up here. Take a look at this. All right, well, here's the main power. Let's turn that on. Let's go ahead and power everything up. Oh, looks like we can't do that. And this is too a little bit buggy, I've noticed, where as you can see, you can only have one thing on at a time. But if I like turn off the dock make diagnostics, and by the way, that shouldn't have been on obviously while the main power is on. But again, alpha build, I'm sure they'll have all that stuff fixed. So if I have turned off the dock mate, so now let's say I want to turn on the robotic surgeon, it actually turns it off, which I'm pretty sure isn't supposed to happen. But anyway, well, the first thing I want to do is get a diagnosis and find out exactly what's going on, even though it told me a little bit earlier. But all right, you can see the diagnostic machine opened up, so let's go ahead and hobble our way over there. And I'm probably only going to play about 20 minutes, again, just so you can get a good idea of the feel of the game, what it's like, the atmosphere. I really like the atmosphere. And I like how you can actually see myself in the scan in the middle of the room. I guess I decided to stand up since I'm on display. I will say that if you look at the top right, and you'll actually see this in other places. Okay, yep, and I see we've actually got something popped out over here.
Parts are done. Multiple fractures along ribs 3, 5, 11, and 14. Extreme muscle atrophy. Danger of heart failure. Danger of real muscle wax. Seek immediate medical attention.
One thing I was going to mention about some of the graphics for the like advertisements and whatnot, like you saw at the top with the lady and kind of the 50s era style advertising, I think that's getting a bit overdone. The whole we live in the future, but the ads are from the 1950s thing. In my opinion, that's getting a bit overdone. I understand what they're going for. That does make it a little, for some reason, makes it creepier to see those older ads. And I know Fallout does it, and a lot of other games do. But in my opinion, it's getting a little long in the tooth. But it's not enough to detract from the enjoyment of the game by any stretch. So this is an emergency medical kit which sits on a glowing slab, automatically filled with the required dosage of medicine. Okay, let's go ahead and grab that. Empty hypodermic syringe. Dockmate mixture. We got both of those. So let's go ahead and use the syringe on the systems mixture. As with any point and click, everything is really easy to figure out as far as how to interact. And basically, you click one item and then click on another item and see if they can be combined. And in this case, it worked. I now have a full hypodermic syringe so that we can get high. Well, actually fix our bodies. But I don't know how this syringe is going to help the cracked ribs. Actually, I guess technically it doesn't. I think it's just nulling the pain. It's like, well, we can't fix your ribs, but at least you won't feel bad. Let's use it on ourselves and pass out. That's always good. Well, game over. No, actually, that's all right. That's totally intended normal side effects. I thought that was a bit odd. I mean, other than the fact that you just randomly flashed some kind of horrific set of images in front of your eyes, was that the pictures he saw were, again, of people dressed like, you know, early 1900s.
Ellen? I have to... Where are they? What happened to them?
Alright, well, next thing, the robotic surgeon. That always looks fun to play with. Oh, but it's inactive. So let's go check out the breaker box. But yeah, they are wearing like 2030s clothing. I can't say for sure. Early 1900s, though. And we're in the future, supposedly. I mean, I guess this could be some alternate timeline where it's the 1920s, but we've already mastered space travel. But again, it seems arbitrary and tropish, if you will, to make it like, ooh, we're in the future, but all the styles and whatnot are the same as the old. Again, not a big deal, but let's turn this off. Ooh, don't think that was supposed to happen. In fact, if we try to turn that back on, it doesn't work. But we unfortunately got a short going on. So let's go ahead and mess with the robotic surgeon for funs. And we'll move on to other rooms. So now, as you can see, I can move it in regular pace. You can double click and run, which I actually did not figure out it for a while. And then, thank you for adding that, by the way. I was kind of getting annoyed walking everywhere. So let's look at the logs. Let's look at this additional note by Dr. K. Essels. The neural drill is stuck again. Every time I try to change it, the arm detracts. Please get maintenance down to fix it. Okay, let's excess surgery prep. Let's go for skin harvesting. That sounds fun. A little robotic arm sticks out. And if we highlight it, it says the arm for the automated robotic surgeon, hello, is extended. The mechanism that holds the neural drill in place is unlocked and open. Oh, let's go ahead and grab that. Oh, just like the guy said, every time I try to grab it, the arm goes back. So, let's go ahead and bring it out. We'll run over here, and we'll cut the power. How can you cut the power, man? They're animals. So this way, it can't retract. So I can grab that drill. I'm actually not even sure if I'm going to get far enough to use that, but I do want to show you at least one or two more puzzles and more areas of the ship. Get the high-speed neural drill. Alright, for now, let's go ahead and leave here, because I don't think there was anything else. Obviously, it took me more time to go through this. See, again, I'm trying to get through. I have to wait for the door animation to close behind me, wait for it to open, and then go through. Again, it doesn't seem like a big deal at first, and it's not a huge deal in the beginning, but it does get a little annoying after a while. We're actually going to run over here. And actually, as you can see, when I move the mouse somewhere that I can leave, it'll say exit. So you know for sure you're leaving the screen, which I like. And again, it kind of stopped me to wait for the doors to close. Nothing in here is interactable. And as I run around this part, well, I was going to say I was going to let you listen to the ambient noise and the music, but they actually don't have much in this area. But overall, I really like it. I like the feel.
No power. That's not gonna work.
Always a power problem. Looks like there's a...
Security lockdown.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Well, we can only go in here. The red indicator on the doors means it is locked, so we cannot get in there. Let's go pop in here to the one area that we can get to.
Well, at least this place has power.
Oh, sounds like there's a little radio over here, which is picking up on various transmissions. So again, you can go to the personal logs, as with many other games like this. People don't password protect their stuff. This is why you want to password protect, because after some horrific event occurs, you don't want someone reading through your personal notes. Though, it can be important because it might save their lives. It might be too late for you, but at least they will be saved. So maybe you shouldn't password protect your logs in case something like this happens. Again, some nice creepy music to go. Yeah, the emergency box here. Let's break the glass. I really like the animation of the glass, by the way. It looks really, really good. So let's see what's in here. A note inside the empty emergency box reads, due to budget cuts, the fire axe has been replaced with this note. Have a nice day. That's great. Now, I actually missed this at first, and I don't count this as what I was talking about before, where you just don't see the object to click on. I just wasn't thinking, and even on a metagaming level, I should realize that breaking this open wasn't entirely pointless. So there's actually a big glass shard here that we can pick up, because even in the future, you never know when a giant glass shard might be handy. Let's go ahead and go in here. Oh, we've got the bathrooms. We can wash our hands. Ah, well, you're welcome. We both win if I watch my hygiene. As with any next-gen game, of course, you can use the sinks and use the toilets. Again, I really like the graphical style of this game. I like the flashing lights. What is it about space and being stuck on some kind of derelict spacecraft, or at the very least, a spacecraft with seemingly no other people, that is creepy to you? Hearing the automated voices in the background, all of that, very, very weird and very creepy. Let's see, I forgot how to open this door, actually.
Security lockdown.
So what items do we have? We have the needle, the drill, and the glass.
Access suspended. Code orange. Please see the on-duty officer for override permissions.
I think we can actually go to this computer. I might be stopping here shortly anyway, because again, you're getting a good idea of what this game is going for. And I don't want to show the whole alpha, because those of you who are interested, I would like you to play it to see what is coming up. Product storage check. It's all the people. Notifications. Let's see. Notification to all General Crow members. I've actually forgotten how to get that door open. Well, it sounds like a good place of any to stop, because again, it doesn't take a lot to really show off what this game is about. I'm really liking it so far. I really like the graphics and the graphical style. I like the ambient sounds and the music when you hear it. My main sticking points right now are, one, the typical adventure problem, where every now and then there's an important quest thing that you need, and it's just because you didn't hover your mouse in the right place to see it. And again, that's only happened to me maybe once or twice out of the 45 minutes to an hour that I played it, maybe a little less than that. So far it's not been an issue. A lot of newer adventure games will fix that by, you can like hold Alt or Shift, and all items in the room will highlight with like the text over them. So I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. Ooh, hey, that door looks like it might be jammed. So I can understand why you wouldn't have the key thing, because it just basically says, hey, click on all of this stuff. But the counter is frustration, because you're trying to figure out what it is that you need to click on. So, and like I said, other than that, other than the doors thing, which I've mentioned a few times, I definitely think this looks to be a promising game. Their goal seems to be realistic for game development, $100,000. So I would definitely suggest you check it out. If you're still kind of on the fence, again, check the links below the video description to try this demo yourself. Again, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to play through the whole thing, depending on how good you are at solving puzzles or missing things in the background that you probably should have seen in the first place. So anyway, that was Stasis. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like my comments, or like my videos if you like them. It does help me a lot. Leave comments, let me know what you thought of your time with the alpha demo, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.